baby. Yeah, he's coming. Nice, dude.
Alright, king mackerel. Watch them teeth on the boat.
Welcome back to another episode of 1000 Hobbies. What's going on, guys? Jake Dalton here. And if you notice, we are sitting in my backyard right now because inside our house it is too loud to be able to film. The reason for that is when we got back from this particular trip, we came home about 12:30 at night to hearing water. And we had a burst pipe, flooded our bathroom, went through the walls, so we are getting everything dried out, and it's been a nightmare since we got back. But anyway, I wanted to sit down and go over this fishing trip. It was pretty fun. It was one of the first trips I have done guided on the ocean, especially towards the East Coast. We were out in Florida, we were staying in Pompano Beach, and this was right down the road from where we were, so we figured this would be perfect. Now, if you guys don't know, I live out here in Nevada, so for me it's mostly trout fishing out here on rivers, big trout in the lake, cutthroat, things like that. But I'm not used to the ocean, so we were a little bit nervous. And we went and got some Dramamine just in case, because this was a Mahi-Mahi hunt. So we were searching for Mahi-Mahi and hoping to find them. They say usually July, August is good, but they were starting to come in, so we figured we'd jump on it. Now, we didn't do a lot of talking because this was my first time on this kind of trip. I was with my father-in-law, my brother-in-law, and my wife's sister's boyfriend. So it was a guy's trip. It was really fun, like I said. So we're gonna kind of just dive into it, and I'll just kind of explain the whole experience. It was super fun. So like I said, we booked this trip. We met at the boat ramp, which is only like 10 minutes away from where we were staying. It was perfect. It was like 7 a.m. when we were supposed to meet him there, so we got there right on time. And super cool guy. Captain Tyler was awesome, and I can also leave his information down below. It's also on my Instagram if you guys want to check that out. He was super cool. He knew we booked the Mahi trip. Decided to troll a little bit just for some fish right outside of where the marina was. And then right outside where the boat ramp was, we got out into the ocean, and we went out maybe 100, 200 yards and decided to kind of just troll through there a little bit to see if we could pick up any fish that may have come in towards the shore. It was a beautiful day out, and unfortunately we didn't catch anything in that first hour of just kind of trolling around and checking things out, getting used to the boat and figuring it out. So we decided to go out deep to look for Mahi-Mahi. Now, I'm telling you, within like 10 minutes of heading out deeper, we hooked into a bonita. Oh yeah, baby! Yeah, he's coming. Heck yeah, dude. Is that a bonita? Nice, dude. Oh, he's jumpy still. Nice, dude. So when you're trolling, basically your lines are all out and you're just waiting for something to hit that rod, and that kind of brings up slack, and then you'll have a fish kind of on the line basically behind you, and if they're fighting good, the rod will be kind of like bouncing. So that's what Captain Tyler told us to look out for. So as we're heading out, we're going deeper. We figured, we're kind of chatting, checking things out. Captain Tyler looks back. We got a fish. So we look back. One rod's up. It's not really bouncing anymore, but it is up, which means the device that keeps it down, I don't even know, keeps it down in the water where the rod's bent over, it's gone. So it got tripped. So I mean, something hit it. We either hit weeds and it popped up, or a fish hit it. So I ran over there, I cranked on it, and yeah, it looks pretty loose, right? I don't think there's anything there. And I could not feel anything, so we just reeled it all in. So we missed the first fish. Now, like I said, the way I since I fish a little bit more than everybody else, figured I'd jump on, try to show them like how to do it if they needed. And since there was no fish, well, I was gonna let the next fish on go to somebody else. So within another probably 10 or 15 minutes, boom, another fish on. I tell Ryan to jump over there. He's my brother-in-law. He jumps over there, starts cranking on it, and it was funny. So this was one of the deeper, farther rods that we had out, and he was cranking on this thing for quite a while. And he was getting tired. He even called over for us, was like, do you guys want to do this? Because he was very far out. I don't know how many feet out, but it was out and deep. And so when you have a fish on and you're cranking it, and we were still trolling to keep the other lines out, you have to really crank on it. So he was cranking on it for a little bit, but it turns out we got a bonita, which is not apparently the best eating, so they were going to keep it for bait for later. But it was super cool. He was stoked to catch a fish. We were stoked to catch a fish, just to get something on the boat to get the skunk off and have some fun. So we kind of keep hanging out for a little bit. You know, we cracked open some beers now that we know we're not really feeling seasick. We're kind of understanding how everything works. And this is kind of where the lull hits in. It kind of takes a little bit, and we're looking for these mahi-mahi, where we're looking out for birds that are diving into the water. We're looking out for cover in the water, just where these kind of fish are going to be. So we see some birds, we start chasing them, and then sooner or later, boom, we hook up again. And I tell Austin, my sister-in-law's boyfriend, I tell him, get on the rod. He jumps on.
Oh yeah.
I think we'll see in a second. Pull off. I'm pretty sure he's on. Pretty sure he's on.
Yeah, I'm pull that off.
Get all that weeds off of there. Oh yeah, you got him. Yeah, you gotta be quick, alright? Alright. Keep going, keep going. Now when you get close, you're not gonna reel it all the way up. You're just gonna flip the fish in.
Oh yeah.
Flip the limit. Oh. Alright.
Yeah, okay.
Open up the tail. Flag.
Push that down.
Alright, now let's go get a measure on him. You gotta be 20 inches of fork, because I don't want him to die.
Yeah.
Cranks it in, and we can kind of see some color, and we're all excited because these mahi-mahi are really beautiful, like green and blue. They just look really cool. We end up pulling them in. They measure them. We didn't even get a picture because they wanted to make sure if you're going to keep the fish that is legal to keep, the legal size. And that is kind of the point of these trips, you guys, of these guided trips, is the fish that you catch, you keep if you're allowed to, and go home and cook them. And that's what this kind of trip is for, you know. But he brought them in, they measured him, he was 2 inches shy. We didn't even get a picture. They really want to keep the fish alive, so we put him right on back, and he swam on back real good. So we were happy to let him go because he gets to swim, get bigger, but we were bummed we didn't get to get our first mahi-mahi for some dinner. So then we're going for a little bit more. We're still searching for these, you know, birds and piles of like kind of weed that kind of sit on some of the ocean, but it is just really cool. We're out in like 500 to 900 feet of water, and we're just kind of cruising and chilling. We're having fun at this point. We've caught 2 fish, super cool. So like I said, we're searching for some birds. Birds usually are circling, they find fish, bait fish, things to try to pick out of the water. That's where the mahi-mahi are going to be. So we spot some, they're diving hard, we book it to them, and all of a sudden Ryan, my brother-in-law, is at the front of the boat, and he spotted one of the mahi-mahi. He said, I think I just saw a fish swim under the boat. And Captain Tyler was like, no way, what color? And Ryan said, yellow, about this big. And I kid you not, within another minute or two, boom, rod tip, bouncing, and we're like, we got a fish on. So I tell my father-in-law, jump on it. He jumps on it, and he starts cranking on it. And
What? Hands a little shy. So put your fingers right here and feel like the little membrane. Don't put it in the gill plate. Right in there. Hold the tail, pitch the tail. Bring my fingers. Pitch it nice and hard. And then face it. Face, come over this way.
Hold him up here real quick. Right up here.
Here, I'll take a picture.
I got you, dude. Lo and behold, we crank in our first mahi-mahi that we're able to keep. I think he was like 22, 24 inches or something like that. Nothing huge, but he was a keeper, and it was super cool to see him be able to reel one in. We got him. We were stoked for some food on the table that night. So like I explained earlier, we're basically just trying to take turns when the rod goes down, switch from one person to another, so everybody has a chance to reel something in or get an opportunity to. Unfortunately, the first one I tried to reel in, there was nothing there. We missed him. My sister-in-law's boyfriend, he got to pull one in, although we didn't get to keep it. And then my brother-in-law, he got to pull one in. It was a bonita, so he was stoked on catching one. Father-in-law, he ended up catching the only mahi-mahi that we were able to keep. And then this is where we kind of hung around for a couple more hours. Our trip was about 5 hours total, and we're getting close to coming back in, and we kind of follow this weed line coming back in because it's been a couple hours, hadn't had any bites, hadn't seen more birds, nothing. So since we're getting close to having to go back in, get off the boat, we start following some weed lines, and all of a sudden I look at the rod and I say, hey, Captain Tyler, is it supposed to look like that? Because it had popped up and, you know, wasn't really bouncing, but it was up, which means something tripped the device that keeps the rod tip down. He said, I think that's a fish, go.
Alrighty, we got him. Alright, king mackerel. Watch the teeth on the bolster.
Okay. Yeah.
Eating fish, that's gonna go real good with your mahi.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Got the real one in. So I run over there, I start cranking on it, and it was definitely tighter than the first time I did it, so I felt like maybe we're getting lucky. Ends up, we got lucky. We got a king mackerel. He was also a keeper, pretty big fish, so I was also stoked to be able to land one of my first guided ocean fishing trips, you know, land a fish and be able to take them home. And so we decided to go home. We actually fried up the king mackerel, made some little like nugget kind of appetizers, and then we grilled the mahi-mahi and made some delicious fish. So overall, this was a awesome trip, an awesome experience out on the ocean. I'm not a big ocean fishing person since I don't live super close to the ocean, and I'd much rather hit like lakes or rivers. It was a blast to get the guys out on the water on our vacation, and I was kind of the ringleader of trying to get everybody out on the boat to do it with me, so I was super stoked that they went, and we had a lot of fun. I know I didn't get a lot of footage of me just like talking into the camera and this and that, but like I said, it was a trip with them. I wanted them to have a really good experience. I didn't want to be awkward and weird or ruin the trip by doing a lot of filming and things like that. So I did get some video, I got some GoPro footage, and some pictures for you guys. So it was super fun, and you know, this concludes another episode of 1000 Hobbies. So please let me know down below if you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys have done ocean fishing, if you guys want other videos, different kind of fishing, if you guys enjoy the fishing stuff, more camping, whatever, just let me know. It's the new channel. We want to hear what you guys have to say. So if you guys watch this, I really appreciate it, and thank you for watching. So stay tuned for the next one.